Eligibility and Certification, TFAP and CSFP. TFAP eligibility. Michigan allows participation in TFAP for anyone who declares an emergency need for food assistance and meets the current USDA TFAP income guidelines. Anyone already participating in any of the following programs is automatically eligible for TFAP. The National School Lunch Program, also known as NSLP, at free or reduced status. Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, also known as WIC. Participation in the Commodity Supplemental Food Program, also known as CSFP. Participation in the Family Independence Program, also known as FIP. Participation in the Supplemental Food Assistance Program, also known as SNAP. TFAP Self-Declaration. TFAP uses participant self-declaration of income to establish income eligibility. Self-declaration is when a person confirms that they qualify according to current TFAP income guidelines without the need to provide any written documentation of income. Only the following information is to be collected from someone who wishes to participate in TFAP: name, address, number of people in household, signature. Agencies must provide a copy of the long version of the USDA non-discrimination statement to participants when they enroll in TFAP. Electronic signatures are allowed. Contact MDE for approval. TFAP reminders. The USDA non-discrimination statement must appear on all items pertaining to TFAP. The long version of the USDA non-discrimination statement must be available during certification on the sign-in sheet. All documentation must be kept for 3 years plus the current year. A household is defined as a single individual or group of related or non-related individuals who are living as one economic unit and for whom food is customarily purchased and prepared in common. Participants residing outside of the agency's distribution area may be served if sufficient product is available. The participant should be advised of the correct distribution location for future participation in TFAP. Important things to remember. When collecting TFAP participant information, agencies and their sites are not allowed to collect Social Security numbers, income documentation, or require verification of residency. Some agencies offer additional programs such as weatherization, utility assistance, or clothing and household item distribution. These are not USDA programs, but the agency may wish to promote them to TFAP participants. Sometimes an agency or site collects additional information to establish eligibility for other programs. This is allowable, but there must be a clear understanding of which programs require additional participant information. If an agency wishes to collect additional information for other services or programs for which TFAP participants may be eligible, they must label the additional information sections as optional or not required for TFAP, provide TFAP for all eligible participants, regardless of if they sign up for other programs. CSFP application. The CSFP application must include the following information categories and documentation: participant name, address as verified through documentation such as a utility bill, driver's license, or state ID. Household income self-declaration, but applicant must give the source of income and the amount. Household size that includes everyone in their household. Age as verified by some form of identification at initial application that includes age and/or date of birth. The date the application is initiated, the application date. Eligibility determination made by the agency, either eligible or not eligible. The date of certification or denial. The signature and title of the person making the eligibility determination. CSFP rights and responsibility and certification statement. Applicants must sign that they have been told their rights and responsibilities, either through written notice or having it read to them. Rights and responsibilities. The agency will provide written notification of denial and provide fair hearing information. CSFP food must be used for its proper intentions or participant may be disqualified from the program. Participants must report changes in household income or composition within 10 days after the change becomes known to the household. The local agency will provide notification of eligibility or ineligibility within 10 days of application. Applicants sign a certification statement to confirm they understand program expectations and that their information may be shared with other assistance programs for their benefit. CSFP fair hearing information. CSFP requires that agencies have a fair hearing process for participants who feel that they have been wrongly denied participation in CSFP. Once applicant information has been collected and reviewed, they are to be notified if they are eligible or ineligible to participate in CSFP. When found to be eligible, new participants are to certify their application, and agency staff are to provide dates, times, and locations of future distributions. When an application is found ineligible, they are denied participation in CSFP. Agencies are to provide written notice of denial that states the reason for denial and a copy of the agency's fair hearing policy. The agency's fair hearing policy must include all time frames as prescribed by USDA. MDE provides sample templates of a denial letter and a fair hearing policy. CSFP Fair Hearing Notification. At the time of certification or recertification, applicants must be informed that they have a right to a fair hearing and that they may appeal any decision made by the local agency regarding denial or termination from the program. An applicant may appeal a decision verbally or in writing at the administering agency headquarters and request a hearing. As stated in CSFP CFR 247.33, the fair hearing must be conducted by an impartial official who does not have any personal stake or involvement in the decision and who is not directly involved in the initial adverse action that resulted in the hearing. An impartial official may be the CSFP program director or a program administrator from another agency, program, or department. An applicant has the right to an appeal if he or she disagrees with the result of the fair hearing. The appeal may be overseen by CSFP agency executive director or their designee who meets the definition of an impartial official. Each agency should have a written policy that explains their fair hearing procedures and includes the following elements. Applicant has 60 days from the time of denial or dismissal to request a fair hearing. Applicant receives notification of the fair hearing at least 10 days prior to the scheduled hearing. Applicant receives a written decision from the fair hearing within 45 days of the request for the hearing. Applicant may request an appeal within 10 days of receiving the fair hearing decision. CSFP certification periods. All CSFP participants must be formally certified every 3 years. An informal recertification must take place every 12 months when a full certification is not required. At a 12-month recertification, the participant's address, income, and continued interest in receiving program benefits must be verified. The agency is to have written procedures for certification. CSFP reminders. Do not collect Social Security numbers. Do not collect income documentation. All documentation must be kept for 3 years plus the current year. The USDA non-discrimination statement must be on all items pertaining to CSFP. The long version of the USDA non-discrimination statement must be available during certification on the application. Electronic signatures are allowed. Check with MDE before implementing.